Persona 3 came out in 2006 and was the first Persona game to gain traction in the US, helping Persona 4 and 5 become popular when they came out. I picked it up in 10th grade interested in the cover art and the description on the back. It was the first time I had played a game that mixed life simulation and JRPG elements together. It's still a very unique type of game to this day. There are 3 versions of the game: Persona 3, Persona 3 FES, and Persona 3 Portable. FES was an expansion on the original game, including more personas, changes to social links, and more. There was also an epilogue chapter added called The Answer. Persona 3 Portable was a complete revamp for the PSP. It changed the game into a visual novel type, becoming more point and click. It also added a new female protagonist who had many differences from the male protagonist, including a more upbeat personality. She had different characters for social links, including every member of SEES. The male protagonist was only able to create social links with the female member of SEES. Because of all the new content in Persona 3 Portable, I like this version the best. You play as a student who transfers to a private school and lives at a dorm with a few other students in a group called SEES. The first night you arrive, you learn about the existence of monsters called shadows and the power to summon demons called personas. The day cycle has you going to school, making friendships, and gaining equipment and items to help you in battle. The night cycle has you exploring a giant tower called Tartarus and fighting shadows. There is a time limit on the game. You have about 1 year in-game time before the story ends. How you spend this time, though, is up to you. The biggest part of the game is making social links and gaining personas. There are key characters in the game that you can befriend and have a social link with. Each character is assigned to an arcana, and personas of that arcana will be more powerful when created depending on the level of the social link. There are 10 ranks in a social link, which rise depending on how much time you spend with that person and what conversation choices you make with them. You are able to date certain characters, and you will get special events depending on who you are dating. Unlike Persona 4 and 5, there are no repercussions to dating multiple people aside from some bickering if they're in the same party while you're in Tartarus. Personas are obtained either through end-of-battle events or fusing existing personas into new ones. There are many personas to obtain, and they're all based off of some sort of mythology. Each one has a short backstory, which is fun to read through. Your party members have personas exclusive to them, and their personas evolve into more powerful forms at certain story events. During battles, you are able to attack using a melee weapon or summon a persona. Personas are summoned by shooting yourself in the head with a gun-like evoker. Each persona has magical abilities they can use either for physical damage or to protect or strengthen your party. Generally, most shadows have weaknesses to certain elements and will be knocked down if you use them. If every enemy is knocked down, your entire party can form an all-out attack, which is all of you rushing forward and beating the shit out of them for tremendous damage.
Keep up the good work.
I love the characters you get to know, especially when you play as the female protagonist. They all get fully fleshed out, and it's easy to be more empathetic toward their struggles during the story. When I initially played Persona 3 FES, I didn't care much for Akihiko, mostly because I didn't get to learn anything about him. Playing as the female protagonist, I got to know him better, and now I really like him as a character. Most of the characters start out bland, but they will grow on you, especially if you start a social link with them. If you're playing for the first time, I would recommend playing the female protagonist and the male after, so you can see the differences more easily. It makes the story more emotional.
If I want to avoid that feeling, I have to work to protect what's precious to me. And that means everything precious, including you.
The music in the game is very well done, and they all fit the situations they play in. It's not surprising Persona 3 got a dancing game and had remix songs in it as well. The voice acting is good, but there aren't many scenes where there actually is voice acting. Some characters I really wanted to know what they sound like, but they never had audio for their lines. The characters that are voiced, though, sound great. The graphics are dated, but this was originally a PS2 game. The dungeon designs are very neat, but they get boring after a while until you reach certain floors and they change in appearance. I do like the way the town looks during the daytime, however. The character designs are all unique and fit the personality of that person. You can change costumes for the party members, but I mostly like their regular outfits. It's been 14 years since it was first released, and I've been holding out for a remaster. What I really hope to see someday is a mesh of FES and portable. I would love to play the female protagonist in the full 3D environment and just experience everything that was taken out. One thing in the original that I hope they fix is maxing out social links. Once you max out a social link, you never hang out with that person again, and towards the end of the game, it gets lonely and empty since there's no one to talk to. It would also be nice to date more of the male NPCs. The only ones available to date as the female are your party members and one spoiler character. The male protagonist has a wide selection of girls to date, and it should be that way for the female protagonist. Along with the game, there were 4 movies that retold the events of the game. The movies are Japanese exclusive, but there was a release with English subtitles. If you don't want to play the game, the movies are a good alternative. Ultimately, this is another very special game to me, and I hope more people can experience it. There will probably be a remaster sometime in the future, but it's still good to check out the game today.